Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Tales of the Valiant CR Exposed. It's been a little while and we are back looking at some monsters where I haven't had too many CR1s yet, so we're going to look at the Ghoul, which you probably saw the artwork for in the thumbnail. So let's take a look at the Ghoul, but before we do that, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. If you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to get the tool for yourself to make perfectly balanced Tales of the Valiant monsters, then look in the description below for my link to my Ko-fi page where you can get this tool absolutely for free. Or if you feel so inclined, you can donate. There is also a button that will let you print any of your custom monsters to Homebrewery, which will give you a custom preset skin there to just kind of copy and paste. That one does cost a little bit of money, but that is because it's taken me some time to code, and that is a thanks for my coding efforts and whatnot, which you can add to your Tales of the Valiant tool. Otherwise, you can use this for free, completely for free, and enjoy it and make a bunch of monsters for Tales of the Valiant, which is a better system. I'm telling you, it's better than 5e. If you're watching this, you probably already know, so I'm speaking to the choir, or preaching to the choir, I should say. In any event, I don't have a Google form for Tales of the Valiant, so please leave a comment on the video. It will help with the YouTube algorithm AI overlords and get me more traction, and I will also get your monster request in order here and bring up a video. So, now that the business is out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the CR1 Ghoul. So we are indeed looking at a CR1, so we'll go ahead and pop that in, and our Ghoul should have, at least for a evenly balanced Ghoul, it should have a proficiency bonus of 2, 13 to 15 AC, 40 hit points unadjusted, 4 to 5 attack bonus, 11 to 18 DPR, and damage per round for those that don't know, and 13 to 15 DC as a save DC, so the save difficulty check. Now, let's go ahead and start throwing in some items here. Now, our Ghoul has a 0 for its strength, plus 3 for its dex, 0 there, a -2 for intelligence, a +2 for wisdom, and a -2 for charisma as well. Now, I don't know if we have any other little extras here for proficiency saves, which honestly it doesn't really matter for our monster in this case, so if I see anything, I will go ahead and add it in. Now, we do need to go through the rest of this section here. So we have our armor class, which we can see here is a 13, so we don't have to add to that. Our hit points currently are a 34 for the Ghoul, which means we should be seeing some kind of a negative, and I know 1 for sure, most likely for undead features. And then we have a speed of 30 feet and climb of 30 feet. Now, this would be important if our monster was below 30 feet. So in this case, if our monster was 20 or 10 feet, we would get a bonus because of how slow they move to the hit points. Now we do have some immunities here, so we're going to come down into the tool and add in, looks like Charmed and then Undead Resilience, so we'll look at that in a moment here. Finding Charmed, we are immune to that. And then if we also need Undead Resilience, this is going to be over here somewhere. And Undead Resilience gives us immunity to poison damage, exhaustion, and the poison condition, which is great to see. So we are immune to poison, and we will go ahead and click that in right here. And then we also have the poisoned condition. We are immune to this, and the, exhaustion. So our monster can't be exhausted, which also means this is going to trigger a third or another item here. And you'll see that I didn't even have to check that, which is nice. The tool now automates these on their own. So it sees when something is triggered once, it will go ahead and throw in that option, and then we start getting our negatives right away. Now that that is out of the way, we have everything done for this section here, and we can move on back to the monster traits, which we were already looking at. And we will start with the Hungry Dead nature. The Ghoul doesn't require air or sleep, consumes at least 2 pounds of raw meat every 24 hours, it loses its immunity to exhaustion, so more than likely it's going to have that anyways, unless you keep a Ghoul under observations for some reason. So beyond that, we don't have to worry about anything here. Spider climb, the Ghoul climbs difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings. That's cool. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't impact our monster's stats here at all. And then we also have Undead Resilience, which we've already covered. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into our action section to finish off the Ghoul here and make this a quick video. Let's see here. So more than likely, we are indeed looking at strength here. So our strength should be, let's see, our strength bonus is, oh, it's definitely not strength. It's with a +5, it's dexterity based. I forgot that I put in a 0 there. So we have a very dexterous ghoul. This is where our attack bonus is coming from for a +5, which is falling in line with the 4 to 5 for the attack bonus as expected. Now we're going to see if we can get that 11 to 18. From there, we will go ahead and take a look at the multi-attack. We have 1 bite and 1 claw. If both the claw... Let's see, if both attacks hit the creature that isn't a construct or undead, the target must succeed on a con save or contract ghoul hunger. See the ghoul hunger sidebar. Okay, and to verify what the ghoul hunger is all about, basically this is a long-running disease, and it will turn a person or a player into a ghoul after 2 failed saves or 12 or 24 hours after having contracted the ghoul hunger disease. So that's pretty much what is going on here. Now, to continue on from the ghoul hunger, we do have our bite attack, and we will go ahead and add this into the attack calculation section here, and we are looking at 1d8 for our main attack dice for the bite, +3, which is coming from our dexterity, for a total of 7.5 because we have an odd number of dice here, and that is going to be our first die, which we're adding in here. And because the bite itself doesn't have any kind of conditions or anything, we don't have to worry about adding in single or multi-use conditions, which fall under the category of, poisoned, paralysis, or something along those lines, which I've left a comment in here if you're using the tool. Then we also have the claw, which does have a bit of text going on with it here. So the ghoul is going to be rolling 2d4, so we'll go ahead and change those up. Again, this is going to be dexterity since the +3 modifier is going on in that. We are then applying the 8 here as the average damage. And then we are also seeing that if a target isn't a construct or undead, it must save on a DC 13 con save or be paralyzed for 1 minute. The target can repeat the save at the end of the turns, ending on a success. So we do have a single condition here, but because the damage is so low and it only applies, I think, 3 to 5% damage, this is not doing anything to our current attack. But we can then go ahead and add this into the multi-attack here. So we're going to add in the 7 plus the 8, which is going to give us 15, and then we're going to just slap that into concentration because we are going to be doing this every round of combat, and instead of doing rounds 1, 2, and 3, we'll just put that in there, and that does fall well within the range of the 11 to 18. So let's go ahead and drum roll to see if we've hit the actual hit point marker that has been noticed or marked here in the Ghoul stat block. And we are seeing indeed 36 for our hit points. So it looks like something's a little off here. How are they getting 34 and we're getting 36? Well, if we come down here, our attack bonus is not below, as we can see here. The attack bonus is not above. And we got really nothing else that needs to be applied here as far as I'm aware. Maybe there's something with the hungry dead nature, or maybe the spider climb that I can't really tell. There's nothing here about climbing, and there's nothing here about exhaustions or anything. So I'd say this is pretty much, it's only a matter of 2 hit points. That could make a bit of a difference, surprisingly enough, here or there. But let's just, for the sake of things, throw in another 5% and see what might happen there. And why are we missing... Oh yeah, okay, that's correct. That's 5, 10, 15%, it's 10% there. Yeah, so for whatever reason, they have an additional -5% somewhere in here, and I don't know exactly what might be missing. Let me look at this for a second here. Well, the best thing I can come up with is likely there has something to do with the multi-attack rider here of the Ghoul Hunger. So they're probably including this -5% for this multi-attack hit, and if the Constitution fails as well. So that's the only thing I can think of that might be causing this to reduce it by 2 extra hit points. But beyond that, I'd say this is a perfectly balanced monster for your games of Tales of the Valiant. And let me tell you, having played with some custom monsters now and with some other encounters I've built on my own, these monsters are no joke, and your players should be ready for very difficult battles. While they're not outright explosive so far that I've seen, because I haven't used any dragons, they are quite deadly. So it's been a fun ride, comparing 5th edition to Tales of the Valiant here. So anyways, I'd say this is pretty much good to go. Our Ghoul here is pretty much well within the means of what was printed, and I'd say, you know, besides this whole 5% difference that I couldn't find necessarily, I'd say this is 100% accurate. So there you go. Use your CR1 Ghoul from Tales of the Valiant without worry. This is going to be pretty right on there for your games. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.